In a small village on the edge of a dense and dark forest, Helena lived with her teenage son, Ethan. After her husband died in a sudden and mysterious accident, Helena began noticing strange and disturbing changes in her son. Ethan started growing at an unnatural rate. His body became taller and larger than usual, and he spent most of the day sleeping or unusually quiet, while the nights were filled with strange sounds coming from his room. He wore a stiff, frightening mask covering his entire face and refused to speak or even make eye contact with anyone. The air inside the house grew heavy, as if every wall and corner held an invisible pressure. The trees around the house seemed to move silently, breathing, watching every movement in the house, and the sound of the wind among their branches felt like muffled whispers speaking something mysterious. One stormy night, Helena's friends, Lucas and Nova, came to help her and check the situation for themselves. The house windows were dark, and the atmosphere inside was thick with a sense of danger. Upon entering, they felt an immediate change in the air. It became heavy, as if the house itself rejected their presence. Ethan's footsteps began echoing from the upper floor, rapid and irregular, as if something was moving behind the door. They tried to speak to him, but he did not respond. Suddenly, he appeared on the upper balcony, standing still, his silver eyes glowing behind the mask. Helena ran upstairs, every step intensifying her fear. Upon entering Ethan's room, it was completely empty except for blood-like marks on the floor that seemed alive.
I am no longer your son. I am beyond this world.
Lucas and Nova were filled with extreme terror, barely managing to escape the room, and Ethan's shadowy figure vanished into the forest. Helena remained stunned, and the village began whispering about the boy whose bones no longer fit his skin and the night that never ended. After Ethan disappeared, the house remained abandoned, and the village was immersed in fear. Helena was hospitalized, but the doctors did not believe her story, considering it hallucination or extreme grief. She insisted that her son had transformed into something not human. Lucas and Nova could not forget that night. They decided to return to the surrounding forest to uncover the truth. Every step among the dense trees increased the tension. The wind turned into whispers, heavy footsteps followed them, and muffled laughter echoed through the shadows, as if the forest itself were testing them. Suddenly everything stopped. Thick fog surrounded them, and enormous footprints appeared on the ground, unlike any known animal. From the mist, Ethan appeared, but he was no longer the boy they knew. His body had grown unnaturally tall, his bones twisted, and his silver eyes glowed behind the mask that had become a permanent part of his face. He did not attack, but the echo of his voice filled their minds.
Those who are no longer human remain shadows.
Lucas realized they had to follow the strange symbols on the carved map Ethan had left behind, which was their only hope to survive the forest and perhaps save him. As they followed the map, the trees moved. Shadows thickened, and the fog became like a living wall surrounding them from every side. After hours of walking, they reached a moss-covered stone gate carved with symbols similar to those on the map. The ground shook beneath their feet, and ethereal mist formed what looked like gateways to another world. Suddenly, Ethan appeared fully transformed, taller, his bones glowing beneath his skin, his silver eyes reflecting a dark, otherworldly realm. Yet, he did not attack them. He raised his hand as if asking for help. Nova shouted, "Ethan, are you still with us?"
The forest took me, and I am part of it now. Whoever enters becomes a shadow, unless their heart resists the darkness.
They carefully followed the map and found a giant pit filled with glowing white light. As they stepped into the light, the fog vanished, and they returned to the forest edge and the village. When they looked back, Ethan stood at the forest entrance, waving at them. He was no longer fully human, but a part of his spirit remained. The forest swallowed him once more, but they felt that his soul had become partially free.